our right. Alter and abolish under a Cain presidency. We will alter Obamacare and repeal it. We will alter Dodd-Frank and repeal it. The reporter asked me, well, what problem do you have with Dodd-Frank? I said, well, I only have 3 problems with Dodd-Frank. I said, the first one is the catalyst to our financial meltdown of 2008 and 2009 was because lack of oversight on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So they wrote this new legislation that still did not include oversight over Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So that's my first problem with Dodd-Frank. My other 2 problems with Dodd-Frank, Dodd and Frank. It's not complicated. They were the same 2 who didn't do their job the first time. Now they want to rewrite legislation the second time. So we got to repeal that. We got to abolish Dodd-Frank. We've got to abolish all of these regulations that this administration is pushing down the throats of American businesses. And just with all of these crises, let me give you some good news. We can fix them. We can fix them, folks. Time does not permit for me to go through my solutions for every one of them. So let me use my remaining time to illustrate how I approach to solving problems, which is how I would lead this nation. Let's start with foreign policy. My foreign policy philosophy is an extension of the Reagan philosophy. Reagan's philosophy was peace through strength. The Cain philosophy is peace through strength and clarity. We must clarify who our friends are, clarify who our enemies are, and stop giving money to our enemies. Clarity. And as we clarify who our friends are, then tell the rest of the world who are our friends that we are going to stand by so they will know not to mess with our friends, like the nation of Israel. If you mess with Israel, you're messing with the United States of America. Well, Mr. Cain, what are you going to do about Iran? Well, here's what I'm going to do about Iran. I'm going to utilize a capability that we have that most people are unaware of. I learned about these capabilities when I served on an advisory board for the Strategic Air Command before they changed it to STRATCOM. We are the only nation in the world that has the ballistic missile detection capability at sea as well as on land better than any other country in the world. We have the ability to upgrade those ballistic missile defense systems on all of our Aegis warships. And we have the ability to double the number of Aegis warships and strategically place them anywhere in the world to detect missiles fired from those locations toward a friend or toward us and knock it out of the sky before it reaches its apex. And so I would upgrade, make it a priority to upgrade all of our Aegis surface-to-air ballistic missile defense capability on all of our warships all the way around the world. Make that a priority, and then say to Ahmadinejad, make my day. Peace through strength and clarity. make it clear where America stands with its friends. One more example. This economy is on life support. We cannot keep tinkering around the edges. This is why I, along with my economic advisory team, developed a bold solution, not another simple mess around the edges kind of solution. This solution starts with throwing out the existing tax code, which is a mess. And replace it with my 999 plan. 9% flat corporate tax, 9% flat personal income flat tax, and a 9% national sales tax. Those three taxes would replace the payroll tax, the capital gains tax, the death tax, corporate income taxes, personal income taxes, and it'll save all of us collectively $430 billion a year that we spend to fill out the stupid tax code. 999. You know, I told you about that bullseye on my back. Well, see, the critics are already trying and prove why 999 is not a good idea. No, there has been some very serious thinking that went into that. We designed it such that it would be revenue neutral. And so what happens is when you see some of these reports talking about it won't do this and it won't do that and it won't do this and it won't do that, they have changed the assumptions. If you want to know what the assumptions are, why don't you come to me and my people and we'll explain to you what the assumptions are. But they don't want to do that. 999 does something very fundamental. 3 additional benefits. Number 1, it provides certainty to the business community because businesses will get out of the survival mode and go back into a growth mode, and 999 means jobs, jobs, jobs. And one other benefit of the 999 plan for our economy. We know it'll boost it. We've already had it evaluated by outside sources. The other thing that it'll do is that it'll get government out of the business of picking winners and losers. All businesses are treated the same. There would be no loopholes other than those small number of deductions that you are able to make personally, charitable contributions you can deduct. Businesses can deduct their purchases as well as their capital investments. Now get this part. If you buy ingredients for your products from U.S. companies, you can deduct it before you apply the 9%. But if you buy your ingredients and components from foreign countries, non-deductible. It's called leveling the playing field. It gets government out of the business of picking winners and losers, and it allows the free market system to pick the winners and losers. That's what the 999 plan does. Working on the right problem. Working on the right problem. One of the other questions that I often get as I close, why are you running for president? To be president. What did I miss? I'm not running to go to Disneyland. America has problems. I'm a problem solver. That's why I'm running. And my challenge to you is to stay informed, because we are up against a lot of stupid people in America who do not have a clue. That's why you have to be informed. Secondly, stay involved. Come to conferences like this. Go to rallies. Go to house parties. Go to parties where you watch the debates and do your own evaluation. Go to websites. Do your own research. Stay involved, because it's the informed and the involved that are going to make sure that we change the outcome of the November 2012 election, different from what the liberals want. And thirdly, stay inspired. They want you to believe that we can't do this. Just like 3 months ago, the political pundits said Herman Cain can't get the nomination. Herman Cain cannot win the presidency because he doesn't have high name ID. He doesn't have $1 kajillion, and he's never held public office. But let me tell you what the American people are saying. They don't care about $1 quadrillion. America wants to raise some cane, not raise more money. That's what the voters are saying. And so stay inspired, because I'm running for the presidency because I'm inspired, not because I'm worried about me and my wife for 43 years. No, it's for the grandkids. I have 3 grandkids. It's not about us, folks. It's about the grandkids. And I remember the first time I looked in the face of my first grandchild, 1999. The first thought that went through my mind was, what do I do? What do I do to make this a better nation and to make this a better world? I didn't know the answer then. It took me 12 years and the grace of God to figure out what my journey should be at this point in my life. And just like every major decision and every major challenge I have faced in my life, after a lot of prayer, a lot of soul searching, a lot of prayer, and a lot of soul searching, once I made the decision, I never looked back. That's why when I worked with my publishers to come up with the title of my book, This is Herman Cain, My Journey to the White House, I had somebody ask me, that's a pretty bold statement, your journey to the White House. I know it is. I put it on there for a reason, because I'm going to the White House. I did it for a reason. And what I want you to help me do, I want you to help me as the Republican nominee and as president to help push that shining city on a hill back to the top of the hill where it belongs. We can do that, folks. We can do that because we've got the resources. We've got the determination. And because we have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and because it is our right and our responsibility to do some altering and abolishing, we will be able to push that shining city on the hill back to the top of the hill. Ronald Reagan, the Gipper, reminds us just how fragile this thing called freedom and this thing called liberty really is, when he said, freedom is never more than a generation away from extinction. You can't pass it on in the bloodstream. It must be fought for and protected, or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our grandchildren what the United States of America used to be like when men were free. I'm not going to have that conversation with my grandkids, and I don't believe you want to have that conversation with your grandkids. Help me put united back into the United States of America, and let's retake the hill, the shining city on the hill, the United States of America.